Okay, so you've definitely seen AI that can chat with you, write an email, even whip up some pretty incredible art. But what if all of that was just the warm-up act? Today, we are diving into AI's next giant leap. We're talking about the move from being a brilliant conversationalist to being a real-deal autonomous assistant, one that's capable of not just talking about tasks, but actually doing them for you.
So, let's just get right to it. For all the mind-blowing things that large language models can do, what is the one crucial thing that they're still missing? What's that fundamental barrier keeping the AI we know today from truly, acting in our world?
And the answer, believe it or not, is super simple. They can't take action. Yep. LLMs are absolute masters of processing information and generating text, but at their core, they're passive. They're observers. They can write you a flawless recipe for a cake, but they can't actually preheat the oven and bake it. They can't click the buttons, fill out the forms, or navigate the software that you and I use every single day.
And that brings us to this perfect metaphor, a brilliant brain in a jar. That's your standard LLM. It can see the world, it can process incredibly complex information, and it can come up with a perfect step-by-step plan. But at the end of the day, it's disconnected. It doesn't have any hands to actually carry that plan out. It's all thought and zero action.
But this is where the story gets really, really exciting. That passive brain-in-a-jar model, it's evolving. AI is starting to get its hands, and it's making the move from just talking about work to actually doing it. Let's dig into how.
And here you can see that core shift in action. Over on the left, you've got that classic brain in a jar. You put information in, you get text out. But on the right, you're looking at a true AI agent. See, it's not a one-way street anymore. It's a constant feedback loop. It takes an action, it observes what happened, and then it uses that new information to decide what to do next. It is connected to its environment.
So, let's break down the crucial difference here. An LLM is an expert advisor. You ask it, hey, how do I update my CRM? And it'll give you a beautiful step-by-step guide. An AI agent, on the other hand, is powered by something new called a large action model, or a LAM, and it's an expert executor. A LAM isn't just trained on text from the internet. It's trained on user interfaces, on millions of examples of people actually doing things. It understands what clicking a button or submitting a form really means. It doesn't just tell you how to do it. You give it a goal, and it just does it.
All right, so how does this magic actually work under the hood? What gives an agent this ability to not just talk, but to actually plan, act, and execute? Well, to get that, we need to look at the blueprint for action, what's known as its cognitive architecture. Now, the key concept here, and this comes from decades of AI research, is called a cognitive architecture. The easiest way to think about it is like it's the wiring diagram for an AI's mind. It's a formal blueprint that maps out exactly how the agent is going to perceive the world, use its memory, reason about its goals, and then, ultimately, make a decision to act.
And this is what that blueprint looks like in practice. This is a cognitive language agent. It's not just a language model anymore, right? It has these dedicated parts for memory and for reasoning, which lets it pull up past experiences and really think through problems. The language model becomes the engine that helps it choose an action, not just generate some text. This is literally how the brain finally gets out of the jar. And this all comes together in this continuous loop, this cycle. First, the agent perceives its environment. It looks at the screen of an application. Then, it digs into its memory for anything relevant. Third, it reasons and creates a plan to get closer to its goal. And finally, number 4, it takes an action. And then the whole cycle starts over. It sees what happened and it adjusts its plan. It's constantly learning and adapting.
Let's make this really concrete. Think about an insurance workflow. Before, you might have an LLM helping a human agent, maybe summarizing a phone call. That's cool, but the human still has to do all the boring, tedious data entry. The human's the one doing the work. Now, with an AI agent, the whole thing is automated. The agent understands the goal, it navigates the clunky CRM by itself, and it even knows how to handle errors if the system throws a curveball. The result? You go from a process that's slow and full of human error to one that's lightning fast and perfectly consistent.
So, this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But is anyone actually doing this? Is it really happening? The answer is a huge, definitive yes. This tech is already being adopted by businesses all over. So let's take a look at what the data tells us about these agents out there in the wild.
62%. No, that is not a typo. According to a massive new global survey from McKinsey, nearly 2/3 of all organizations are already experimenting with AI agents. This isn't some far-off future trend. It is happening right now as we speak. And who's leading the charge? Well, it's probably who you'd expect. The tech, media, and telecom sectors are way out in front, with healthcare also showing a ton of interest. And that makes perfect sense, right? These are industries built on really complex digital workflows, which makes them the absolute prime candidates for this kind of powerful automation.
But, and this is a big but, here's the crucial challenge that the data reveals. While a whole lot of companies are experimenting, a much smaller group, just 23%, are successfully scaling these agents across their organizations. So there's this big adoption gap between just trying out the tech and actually getting real enterprise-level value from it. Okay, so that's the big question then. What separates the companies that are crushing it from those that are just stuck in pilot mode forever? What does the playbook for the high performers actually look like?
The single biggest factor, according to all of McKinsey's research, is this right here. It's not about just plugging in a cool new tool. It's about fundamentally redesigning how work gets done. You see, real success isn't about slapping an AI assistant onto a process that's already broken. It's about using the AI's brand new capabilities to build entirely new, smarter ways of working from the ground up.
And their playbook is crystal clear. These high performers, they're not just aiming for small efficiency gains, they want total transformation. They are 3 times more likely to redesign entire workflows. They also invest way more money, they make sure they have active buy-in from the C-suite, and they don't just run a few small pilots, they go big, scaling these agents aggressively across their whole business.
Which, of course, brings us to our final question. The technology for AI to act on its own is here, and it is getting better at a terrifying pace. The real question is no longer about the AI, it's about us. AI is learning to do. So, are we ready to change how we work?